how to get back your childlike wonder at fictional stories. As a teenager, you get excited just to watch a movie, and anime especially. I watched the first Yu-Gi-Oh series a long time ago in English, and it was heavily censored. Then I recently rewatched it in Japanese with subtitles, so there was no censoring. And there are like 6 or 7 other Yu-Gi-Oh series that followed it that I never watched. I never watched when they came out because at that point I thought they were too childish. So I kind of regressed into childishness the last few years. I used to be addicted to that anime as a kid. I could just rewatch episodes a dozen times. And the original Yu-Gi-Oh had some good, I guess, fun moments when I watched it in Japanese in the present. But for the most part, I just pirated the Japanese version of it last year, and I watched one episode a day. But what happened to all the excitement that it used to induce, where I could watch Yu-Gi-Oh episodes again and again several times when I was a teenager? It should be like where you just watch any Yu-Gi-Oh series and you'll be like, oh my god, he summoned this dragon, look at this dragon. It should be all exciting. It should get your imagination fired up so that you're really entertained by all this anime that you watch. But as I watched anime like for the last 10 years, there is barely any stimulation, and oftentimes it's just boring. I completely quit watching movies, and I only watch anime when I eat. I do not just sit and watch things. But if I'm eating, I can't do anything else, so I might as well watch. But I can't sit down and just dedicate the next 2 hours or 3 hours to watching a movie and just looking at a movie and nothing else. You gotta be doing something. You gotta be working on a project. I can't just sit there and look at a fucking movie for 2 hours. And watching television feels like it puts you in a trance. If I had to watch a movie, I'd have to break it up into 25-minute segments, one segment a day. 25-minute segments. That's how long an anime episode lasts. I can't just sit there and just watch shit on TV. It's one thing to watch a short YouTube video or just any educational video like on BitChute. But if it's really long, it has to be broken up into segments. You get up after a 2-hour movie, you feel like you're standing up out of a hypnotic state, and it's not a good feeling. And I know for a fact television is a tool to hypnotize people, to implant propaganda into the subconscious. I'd have to be really sick or something where I'm just too weak to think in order to watch a movie. I gave up movies because, also because they're so full of propaganda from the Wedge world order. And I don't watch TV shows either, like live action TV shows. I don't even watch animated American TV shows. I just think of all the actors and the tribe they belong to and the producers, and it makes me not want to look at their fucking faces. I can't believe I used to watch all those police TV shows, those crime dramas. Those things, if I were to look at one of them now, they feel like a high school level production bullshit. With wooden dialogue, and it's a police state glorifying propaganda. So how can you be entertained by it? How did I used to get excited for those? I thought it was a reason for living to watch TV. I have to be creating something instead. I have to be writing a novel or making a video, or I have to be watching something educational But again, if I'm watching something, even if it's educational, it has to be in short segments. Same thing with video games. Spending time playing a single player video game is almost the same as watching a movie. I wouldn't want to do that for more than 20 minutes a day. I can only really play games online because I'm playing against other human beings, and maybe I get to troll them with microphone chat, so it doesn't get old. Shooting at AI enemies in single player is too dull, so video games don't stimulate me. You can't just sit there and play a single player game of any kind, unless it's like 10 minutes a day. It doesn't matter how good the graphics are or how imaginative it is, how much detail goes into all the fantastical things like monsters and stuff, all the bright, flashy stuff they put into video games to mesmerize you. It just doesn't matter. But it used to matter so much when I was a kid. It's like I've gone through this huge 180 flip for my personality because I spent my entire childhood consumed by the wonders of television. I gorged myself on the lies and bullshit it presented. And it's like I've become a whole different person now. Imagine how it feels now, knowing who runs the whole works and the propaganda they put out. It's amazing that I consumed it so much that how it didn't suck me in to a point where I couldn't get out of it. Because people all around us are so sucked in by the TV and what it teaches them that you can't wake them up. And same thing with books for me. The novels are full of propaganda too, and they are so stale. It's all just one-dimensional good guys against one-dimensional bad guys. I can stop reading or listening to a novel at any point and not give a shit, even if there is something exciting going on. There's no such a thing as a thriller novel or a page-turner for me. I can quit turning the page at any moment. They're all filled with propaganda, and they're all based around a false image of the world, a wrongful perception of reality that our oppressors want us to embrace. But it's not just the propaganda, it's just there's something about the whole thing that you just don't care. The only thing I can do is play Call of Duty far as video games go. When I began Call of Duty 10 years ago, I was happy to just be playing, even if I wasn't winning. Now, it's just something that pisses me off where I have to be winning, and if I'm not winning, I'm pissed off. And it feels like I'm seeing instances of deliberate sabotage taking place, where the software is studying how I play and then purposely sabotages me. For example, when I spawn, I tend to almost immediately place a mine on the ground, but many times I will spawn, and right as I have the mine in my hand, so I can't shoot, someone runs around the corner and kills me. And I have to wonder, did the game's AI anticipate my enemy was going to run that way, and specially spawned me there, knowing it will screw me up, because it knows how I play, and it knows that I will have a mine in my hand? I started noticing these things, and they irritate me. They feel deliberate. That's how perceptive I've become. And the thing about fictional novels, reading novels, Charles Giuliani has said they are a waste of time. And I agree with him. Ironically, I fucking dedicate a lot of time to writing fictional novels myself, while agreeing that fictional novels are a waste of time. Go figure. I mean, the mainstream fictional novels, they make you more fucking ignorant. How many people read David Baldacci novels and think they know how the government works from reading those? You can only shake your head at the brazen, deliberate disinfo that crap is. Like, they'll have some character that is some head of some alphabet agency who is a corrupt jerk, but he'll proclaim, "I love the United States of America and I'm saving it from Muslim terrorists," or some shit like that, and, he really means it. Or, "We've got to be doing something right at the CIA, or we would have had so many more 9/11s. I'm just paraphrasing, but it's shit like that that's written in David Baldacci novels. And you're surrounded by morons who believe that paradigm. And it actually brightens their day to read things like that. But to someone who is awake to the truth behind 9/11 and all of that, you don't know whether to groan at the absurdity of it or just laugh your ass off at the bad joke. But you got to think about how I'm surrounded by millions of people, many of them that are far older than me, who should have way more experiences in life than me. And guess what? They are perfectly content to binge watch something on Netflix or sit down and just stare at a movie. Imagine you're spending a day just binge watching a TV show on Netflix, and you don't get restless? You don't feel sick from being hypnotized by the TV? There are guys in their 30s who buy up almost every video game there is and play it for hours. Apparently, these single-player games still stimulate the hell out of them at their age that they will play them. I only had to play 2 or 3 video games as a kid to realize that they're all the same exact thing. Actually, every video game is the same, it's just reskinned. Reskinned environment, reskinned enemies. But the foundation on which it functions is the same. I'm pretty much only reading novels to expand my writing abilities. Reading and listening to novels. And even if you listen to a new novel, you just want to turn it off, before the hour is up. You just want to turn it off and go listen to something educational. So as long as I can imitate the style of your average novel and expand my vocabulary, that's all I need to write. I write novels while having no patience for novels. What an irony. So why create something that you consider to be a waste of time to consume? Well, that's because I expect most people to be dumber than me and to actually waste time reading the shit that I write. Isn't that the premise behind the whole entertainment industry? They make a movie and they hope there's morons that will go watch it. And there's plenty of morons to go watch it. Then there are millions and billions of people engaged in watching mainstream news, like Fox and CBS and ABC and MSNBC and, and it's all about, news about bullshit propaganda having to do with politics. They don't care that the politics are fake theatrics that are played out for the public. They don't want to know that. They'll follow all the election bullshit, every second of the election coverage, with bated breath, refusing to believe that it's all scripted bullshit, that the entire government is scripted bullshit. You have no power over any of it. Your vote means nothing. It's all an illusion, but not to these people. They'll thrill to Fox News. They'll hang on to every little piece of staged drama. If they are a Republican and they hear news that Trump said something and it made the Democrats lose their shit, that's enough to make them happy. That makes their day. Like Nancy Pelosi and Donald Trump aren't just fucking actors on a stage. It's not all just scripted bullshit. And so they thrill to it. Ooh, so fun. Politicians on the left and the right just hurl scripted trash talk at each other. Like in the fake wrestling. And people actually hang on to that, and it makes them feel excited because they believe it's real. Oh, Donald Trump insulted the Democrats. Well, that makes my day. I can go to work and be happy and feel a swelling of joy in my heart. Ooh, I am winning something. We're getting somewhere. Doesn't matter that my life has been turned into a pile of dog shit by this whole system. Doesn't matter that nothing actually got better over the last 50, 60 years or whatever. They'll still sit there and go, ooh, I'm winning something now. Now my side is winning something. Now things are gonna get better. Oh, we're about to win something and make things better. And they can't look back in time and see the track record of where they've been led by all this bullshit. So they'll sit there and hang on to the phony theatrics of these demonic wedge world order scumbags and just bask in the feeling of some illusory control when they have no control over it. And that's all it takes to stimulate those people, and they'll accept any fucking abuses thrown their way by the government, so long as they are so long as they feel they're participating in some kind of a fair sport called politics. And their lives are just getting worse from this wedge world order bullshit year by year, and it doesn't matter so long as they have the soap opera performed from the White House. It's all great. We're free. Go America. We will tolerate anything because any moment now it will turn around and get better. Any moment now. Then 10 years down the road, they are still thinking the same thing because it only got worse. But any moment now it will turn around and get better. You just have to have some Republican actor say something and have some Democrat actor pretend to be pissed off about it, and that's making things better. And they don't see that this whole artifice is just leading them around in circles. Look, just another day the Republican guy, he just insulted some Democrat guy. Look at that, see, it's getting better, it's turning around already. Then there is people who just listen to music. They'll work and just listen to music. For several hours they will listen to songs that they've heard their entire life, that they've listened to for decades again and again, and apparently those songs still stimulate them. They won't use their phone to listen to anything that will educate them to the reality we live in, or use their stereo systems for that. No, it's just music that they've listened to almost every day of their whole lives. And they are yet to grow sick of it. So, apparently it's a lot easier to bring joy into those people's lives. So, how am I supposed to get back to that childlike wonder at the special effects in movies, at the anime, at all of that? Like, I used to love superheroes as a child. Superhero movies now look all repulsive to me. I don't even have time for that shit. And sometimes I start an anime, and then I wish I could start a different anime. And if I start a different anime, I'd want to start another one, and all the ones that I've started, I would drop, and then start a new one, and then drop that one, and start a new one, and drop that one, because there is no stimulation. They're all the same fucking thing again and again. And people are refusing to give me a monetary shortcut in life. Like, there is so many people that have gotten it, that you can find on YouTube alone. Maybe there will be stimulation in doing some physical activity. People have completely ruined life. You leave the house and you look at the world, the city streets. It all looks dreary. It all looks unfriendly and depressing, with an ominous pall hanging over everything. And it pretty much looks like a dirty third world country too. So there's no childlike wonder to be had from any of that either. Everything is sterile. All the cities are ruined because everything's under video camera surveillance. And what's up with people having dreams of having a career? There are people that dream of having certain careers. Oh, to have a career that you enjoy. And what's up with that? Why would you dream of being inside some, working in some wedge world order staged corporation? Shouldn't work be a drag, like going to public school? Shouldn't going to work elicit the same feeling as going to a public school when you were a kid? Food is not stimulating either. I used to enjoy fast food as a kid. Eating a McDonald's burger, it felt delicious to eat a burger, but now all the food feels bland too. I mean, there are fat asses that look forward to eating food. Eating food makes their day. Eating food gives them the greatest pleasure. I just eat food because, well, I need sustenance, so that's why. Oh, and let's not forget sports. There are motherfuckers whose entire life is dedicated to these scripted bullshit fucking sports. That's what makes their life worth living, watching sports on TV. Look at the emotions they exhibit in relation to these fucking sports. They rage if their football team loses. They go on rants, berating players who appear to be bad, and berating coaches who appear to be bad. So their mood gets spoiled because their fucking football team lost. Or if they cheer if their football team wins. They get a sense of accomplishment out of that, even if they did absolutely nothing. And it has absolutely zero effect on their fucking personal life, whether the team from their fucking hometown or state wins the fucking game or not, unless they're betting money. But they're not betting money, so they're not affected by it. I mean, you might get pissed off if you lose the bet. So you better be good with fucking gematria to see how the shit is scripted ahead of time if you're going to bet. But they're not even betting, and yet they'll get enraged about that shit year after year, their whole lives. Ooh, I'm gonna watch the fucking Super Bowl. Oh, that'll make me so happy, looking forward to the Super Bowl. Fuck whatever catastrophe the Wedge World Order is bringing about. I got my fucking Super Bowl. I got my ball games every week. It's like the entire self-esteem hinges on a fucking sports game that is fucking scripted, and it's all just there to fuck with your mind. So, how to go back to deriving joy from all these things? Where I could be like the people around me, where I could just go watch a sitcom created by the Wedge World Order, and go, oh, that's so funny, that's so great, oh, I'm having the time of my life.